Srisailesh Dayabatram, Tivakyadi Gunarnavam, Yatindra Pravanam Vande, Ramyaja Mataram Munim, Lakshmi Sundaram, Nathayamana Madhyamam, Asmadacharya Paryandham Vande Guru Parambaram, Yonityam Achyutapadam, Bhujayukma Rukma, Vyamokadastathitarani Tranaya Mene, Asmadgurur Bhagavatosya Dhayekasantoho, Ramanujasya Sharanau Sharanam Prabhatte, Mata Pitha Yuvadayas Dhanaya Vibhudihi, Sarvam Yadeva Niyamena Matanvayanam, Atyasya Naholabader Vakulabiramam, Srimat Tatangari Yogalam Pranamami Murthanam, Bodham Sarascha Makadah Paya Bhattanada, Shri Bhaktisara Kulasekara Yogi Vahan, Bhaktangrirenu Parakada Yatintra Mishran, Srimat Parangushamanim Pranatosmi Nityam. Nila Tungastanagiri Dadi, Suptam Ukpoltya Krishnam, Paratyam Swam Shridi Sadasira Siddha Matyabayanti, Swochishtayam Srajanigadidam Ya Balatkradaya Punkte, Bodhadasyai Nama Idam Idham Bhuya Evastu Bhuyaha. Namaskarams to all. Continuing our journey in Thiruppavai, today's day Pashuram is the third Pashuram of Thiruppavai, the great Prabandham of Kodenachiyar Sri Andal. In the first two Pashurams, she planned the Margazhi Vratham to start the Margazhi Vratham, and she called all the friends. And also in the second Pashuram, she set the rules that we should be following and what we should be doing, what we should not be doing as part of the Vratham. And as part of these two Pashurams also, she took the opportunity to do the Mangala Sashanam, to praise Emperuman, to tell the glory of Emperuman, one in the Sri Vaikuntham, in the Pararupam, and in the second Pashuram, in the Thiruppar Kadal, as a Vyuka Rupam of Emperuman. In the third Pashuram, she is going to take the Mangala Sashanam of Emperuman as a Vipapa Rupam, which is incarnation of Emperuman into this world, as a 10 avatharams, that 10 incarnations that we talk about as Emperuman Srimaan Narayanan. And one of the Vipapa Avataram is being taken, and she is doing the Mangala Sasanam of Emperuman. And she is also going to tell, as part of this Pashuram, what are all the benefits, how a country would flourish when this Vratham is being done, and what are all the flourish means for a particular country. She has specified this in a very long back, which is also true even in today's conditions for an economy of a country. So let us look at that Pashuram. Let us do the Anusandhanam of the Pashurams and see the meaning. Ongi Ulagalanda Uttaman Perbadi, Nangal Nambavaikku Chattrini Radinal, Thingendre Nadallam, Thingalumum Maribed, Ungabarum Janalodu Kayalugala, Punguvalai Podil, Purivandu Kanbadupa, Tengade Bukirum, the Shetamale Chivanga, Kutam Nerekum, Valal Verumbashukal, Ninga the Shelbum, Nerendelo Rambavai. In this Pashuram, she is doing the Mangala Sashanam of Thiruvikkara Peruman. Thiruvikkara Peruman is the Vamana Avataram, the Vamana incarnation of Emperuman. After the Narasimha Avataram, he was born into this world as a dwarf. And there is a story behind that one, where he went to Mahabali, the king Mahabali, as a small, because the Mahabali has taken all the wealth of Indra by doing a war with Indra, and Indra lost all the properties of himself to Mahabali. And Mahabali took that one by doing this war, but then Indra went to Srimaan Narayana and requested him to get all his wealth back from Mahabali. So Emperuman took this form of a dwarf called Vamanan, and he was born as a child to Aditi and Kashyapa Muni, and then he was going to Mahabali and asking for 3 feet of land, which is a very small dwarf, asking at 3 feet. Mahabali, with his ahankaram, he said, "This is very strange, so please take yourself, measure and take a 3 feet. I'm giving many of those donations, so I can give this 3 feet to you." At that time, Emperuman grew as a great Thiruvikrama Peruman, the avataram which we call it out as the biggest the growth. His feet went 1 feet, he measured on this world. The second feet, it measured all the worlds in the other part of the Prapancham, other part of the universe. That means all other lokas. It covered up to all the lokas, and his lotus feet went up to the Satya Loka where Brahma is there. And with these 2 feet of measurements, everything of this universe and also to the other world has been measured. And there was no land to measure for the 3rd feet. And then Mahabali, he realized his mistake, that he could not give the 3 feet what Embaraman has got, and bow his head to his Embaraman, and the Embaraman put his lotus feet on to the head of Mahabali. And that's a great, actually, blessings that Mahabali got it out. He comes from the great dynasty of Prakalhadan. So Embaraman doesn't want to kill him because he has given that particular things to Prakalhadan, that his dynasty, nobody would be killed. So, but Mahabali, then he has to give back all the wealth back to Indra. To do this one, Embaraman took this avataram of a dwarf, but later he was grown as a big Embaraman, which is called as the Thiruvikraman. So Vamana avataram, which he transformed into a great bigger avataram called as a Thiruvikrama avataram. Here, Ongi Ulagalanda Uttaman. Andal starts with that. Ongi Ulagalanda, that means he is the one. He just raised himself from a small dwarf into the biggest posture, where he just made his 1 feet onto this earth. Every of the Jivatma got the blessings of that 1 feet of Embaraman in that particular measurement. Then the 2nd feet, it went up to Satyaloka, and Brahma, he was astonished to see that Embaraman's Tiruvadi, the lotus feet, is coming there, and he started to do the bath of that particular Tiruvadi, and that is the water that later it comes down to the earth as Ganga is also Purvargal used to tell. So the Ongi Ulagalanda Uttaman here in Nachiyar Tirumali also, many Alvars have praised, and they have described this Mahabali and how Embaraman has grown as a big Thiruvikra Peruman with so many Pashurams, all the Alvars. Even in Nachiyar Tirumali, she talks about Deshamun Alandavan Thiruvikkiraman Thirukkayal Ennai Tindum Mannam. That is, a Peruman should come and with his great and pure hands, he should touch me. This is what Andal is wishing in Nachiyar Tirumali. And such a great avataram here she is doing the Mangalasashanam. Ongi Ulagalanda Uttaman. Embaraman is the only Uttaman. He is the purest of all. He is also called as Purushottaman. He is the Uttaman of all. And he is Uttaman because he took all the incarnation of the 10 incarnations. He never preaches himself. He lived here as Lord Rama. He lived as a Krishna, and he has come down as a Vamana to do all those avatarams in order to do the good for all the Devatas. And he is the Uttaman. And here Andal tells this as a Uttaman, and because he is the one who took him, he is a great supreme God. But for the request of Indra, he took a very small dwarf. That means he himself reduced his all his body into a small dwarf. And he is always a person who gives. Embaraman is the one whom we go and get everything. But he is going and putting his hand in front of Mahabali as a requester. He went as a brahmacharya, and then he asked things. So how great he has acted into that particular. That's why in this particular avataram, Andal took this word Uttaman. Uttaman means is the great, the purity and the great heart, because that humbleness and thinks that it comes for Embaraman himself. He is the supreme of everything. If he thinks that he could have done this one from Sri Vaikuntham itself, but he is showing that how one should be behaving is through all his incarnations he teaches us. Uttaman Verpadi. So let's chant his Tirunamam. That's how Andal here. Ongi Ulagalanda Uttaman Verpadi. Nangal Nampavaiki Chatriniradinar. So Nangal, that is, we are all going to do Nampavaiki. That means the doll, the Katyayani doll, that what we have made. We are going to do this puja So Nangal Nambavaiki Chatrini Radinal. That means when we are doing this puja and whatever that the rules and regulations that she specified and following the rules and regulations, if we do this puja, what are all the things that is going to happen for that place? So she is telling that one, the whole world, the whole country will be flourishing when we are doing. What are all the flourishing things that she is listing here? Thinginri நாடெல்லாம் திங்களும் மும்மாறி பெய்து. Thinginri, first of all, there will not be anything bad happening to this country. Everything will be good for this country. Thinginri நாடெல்லாம், nad means it's a country, the whole country, or in this context we can take the whole world who is doing that one, can be without any harm. And Tingalum Mummari Pei. Tingal here means it's the month. The month in Tamil, we call it out as Tingal is a month. Tingalum Mummari Pei. That means to be flourishing, an economy has to be flourishing. A small girl, Andal, has mentioned this in the many, many years ago. We should have 3 times a rain in a month. How it should be coming? One day it should rain, 9 days it should leave, another then 1 day rain, and then 9 days it should leave, then 1 day rain. Like this, when you do that, the rain is fully effectively absorbed into the earth, and then the whole water richness for that particular country is there. So this is one of the measurement of being the water resources are very good in any country is measured through this type of a thing. So she has set the yardsticks in her thing, and many of the kings later used to follow when their country is flourishing or the kingdom is flourishing. They used to say the Mummari Peida. That means 3 times the rains are there, and the agriculture is very good when the water is there. That's what she says, but there is a very great inner meaning. This is an outer meaning of a Pashuram. But why she took these 3? The 3 in Sri Vaishnavism is a great. There are Acharyas used to explain with many of them. They connect with many of those explanations. Adiyan will tell few of them. The first thing is that the 3 is connected to the 3 mantras. Normally with the Srimaan Narayana, we have a Tirumantram, then we have a Dvayam, we have Charama Shlokam. This is the 3 things. And even in the Tirumantram, which is the sacred one of all the Ragasya Artham, this is a secret mantras, that one we should go to an Acharya and learn properly. And within this one, the mantra starts with the Pranavam. Pranavam, everybody would be knowing that one. So the Pranavam, the sound of the Pranavam is the first of all the Vedas. It protects all the Vedas. The Pranavam is the one which protects the beginning and the end of all the Vedas. And that Pranavam is made of 3 letters. And these 3 letters are representing Srimaan Narayan. There's a great internal meaning onto that one. Adiyan cannot, this is only from Acharyas. We should be getting those type of meanings. But those 3 letters is what that Andal here refers to that one, in terms of that it should be the blessings of that particular Emperuman, who is the one who is giving the great moksham of Sri Vaikuntham, and one should be always looking out to this. And this is what the connection that Acharyas connected the 3, because these are all something, a simple meaning that one can get by reading the Pashurams. But many of the Vyakyanams, that means the internal meanings when Acharyas have written, they are connecting with the lot of the internal meanings that they connect with this of Andal's Pashuram. So here she takes it out, Madam Mummari Peidu, the 3 times the rains are there. That means the water's resources are abundant into that particular country. What happens when the water is abundant? Onguberum channel. That means the whole of these plants. Here she is talking about all the rice and the wheat and all those things are just growing very, very fast, and the wealthy. So a country is in wealth when agriculture is very good. So this, we don't need to learn from the economy of today. Andal has specified this very, very long back. So she says, Ongu Berum Channel Udu Kayaluala. So what happens is that between that all those rice things, you have a lot of water, stagnant water, because the rice ones needs the lot of water stagnation. So otherwise, today when you go to the fields, you will see that one, there are many of them suffering from water. But the real one, the rice ones, then you will see that the plants has got a lot of water. And she says kayalugala, that means even a fish can swim in that water. So you will see a lot of small fishes going into that. So she's just describing how good the water resources when you are just doing this one. Punguvalai podil purivandu kanpaduppa. The flowers are blooming. All the flowers are blooming, and all these the ones for taking the honey. So you get all of them. This going, and the bees are coming, and around that one is what that she is telling. Purivandu kanpaduppa. தேங்காதே புக்கிருந்து சீர்த்த முளை பற்றி வாங்க குடம் நிறைக்கும் வள்ளல் பெரும் பசுக்கள். She is telling in the Iyer party, the cows were so much. You will see that one when you look at the cow itself, how much of the milk it is going to give it out. In Iyer party, that was not a problem at all. They just go and see and touch this cow, and then it gives the milk in the vessels. They could not fill the vessels. They are keep on filling the vessels, and then it's like filling our water. So the whole milk comes out of that. Such is the wealth. You will get it out. That means you don't have any scarcity for milk, because those cows are rich with milk, because they have been blessed by Kannan himself in the Iyer party. So she tells that Thengade Bukkirundu Shirtamale, but just go and touching that, you get Kudam Nerekum Vallal Perumbasakal. That means a lot of vessels of Kudam means it's a vessel in Tamil. So a lot of vessels of milk. This we are going to keep on getting it out. So even in the internal meaning, when you are focusing on those 3 letters and the 3 mantras of Emperuman, we are going to get a lot of internal meanings, and this Swarupam change is what that Acharyas connects with the internal meaning. Here, Anningada Selvam So you get a lot of it. It will be a very rich country. You will not have any scarcity of water. You will not have any scarcity of food. And why? Because Emperuman Wongi Ulagalanda Uttaman has put his lotus feet onto this earth very long back. So when he has put his lotus feet onto this particular earth, that means all the Jivatmas and his lotus feet has already blessed all these Jivatmas. That means the whole of that rich resources will be there. And adding to that one, when we are doing this Vratam, then we also get more and more resources and more and more flourishing things that is happening, is what Antal here wanted to tell. And taking that as a thing, this is a Vibhava avatar. Vibhava means the 10 incarnations, the way in which Emperuman took that 10 incarnations, they are termed as Vibhava avataram. And she has taken that one, and she is doing the Mangalasashanam of this particular one. So there are many Pashurams of Alvars, even Nachar Tirumoli, she is singing about many of those, and also Thirumangai Alvar, Unmadiyil Punaluruvi, Urukal Nirpa, Urugalum Kamarasir, Avanan Ullathu, Enmadiyum Kadandu, Andam Meedu Bogi, Iruvizumbin, Uduboy எழுந்து, the way in which his second feet is going to all the other lokas, and all the devatas who are there in the other lokas had the blessing of seeing that lotus feet of Emperuman into that Thiruavataram. And this Thiruavataram, even today, we can go and see that one in Tirukkovalur, which is Tirukkovilur near Viluppuram. This is a great place where the first 3 Alvars, they saw the posture of this Thiruvikraman, and in the Aipasimasam, the three Alvars, Thirunakshatharam, we just celebrated, and those Alvars praised how they saw the posture of Emperuman in Tirukkovilur. So we can go there and also get the blessings of Tirukkovilur Emperuman. But here Andal took this Pashuram to specify how a country will be flourishing and wealth before we start this Margali Vratam. And Margali Vratam, it's also not just going to be a Vratam of getting Kannan, but also as part of that one, the Kannan's blessings will be there. His lotus feet is already on this earth. So we would get all this benefits or advantages is what that in this particular Pashuram she is telling. And we will see in the next Pashuram what type of a Mangalasasanam she is doing. She continues with another 2 Pashurams of doing Mangalasasanam, and then really she starts with all her friends to wake up and start the Vratam. So we will see, we will further enjoy those meanings of those in the next parts. Srimati Ramanujaya Namaha. Alvargal Tiruvadigalai Sharanam, Imperavanar Tiruvadigalai Sharanam, Jiyer Tiruvadigalai Sharanam, Acharyans Swami Tiruvadigalai Sharanam.